If you want to take your AI generated logos from looking something like this into something like this, then you probably shouldn't use another AI logo generator. Because in this video, I'm going to show you how I use Claude Design from taking my logo ideas and turning it into a full logo brand package with different versions, the proper files, and even a custom logo animation. Before I even jump into an AI tool, I want to point out something important, and that is that the first step isn't even in an AI tool. The first step is coming up with a clear idea, and best ideas doesn't come from AI, they come from your head. With this example, I'll be using my own site, which is CS2 Skin Maker, because my website needed a logo. Since my site is about Counter-Strike skins and designing Counter-Strike skins, I started thinking about how my logo could communicate that. On one side, Counter-Strike is obviously a shooting game, so I felt like a scope would represent that quite well. On the other side, there's the designing and painting aspect, so I started thinking what visually represents that. I thought about a brush, maybe like a color palette, but I ended up using like a paint splash. So really the job here was to combine these two ideas, a splash of paint with a scope inside of it. And once I had the concept, my prompt was super simple. Give me a logo version with a paint splash and a scope inside of it. And the result looked like this. At this point, the idea was there, but I didn't really like the execution. Claude Design have given me a concept idea with a paint splash and a scope inside of it. But I wasn't really sold on the splash or the scope for that matter. So what I did is I went on Google and I found these paint splashes. I liked them, they were rounded, and they were kind of what the idea like I had in my head. So I took Claude's initial idea and the splashes I found on Google and I gave them to Nano Banana. And then I told Nano Banana, here's a reference image I had from Claude, and here's a paint splash I found on Google. Can you combine these and make it into a logo? And this is what it came up with. Wasn't perfect, first try, it's okay. Then I went a bit back and forth. First of all, I changed it from these different colors to the orange, the one that appeared on my website. And then I went back and forth until I kind of got both the splash and the scope that I wanted. At first, I asked it to give me different versions. I got these four. I asked, hey, I like this splash, but I don't like the scope. Give me different scope versions, give me different splash versions. A cool trick that I often use is taking screenshots. Really use this. I like this scope, for example, and I like the splash, and I simply just asked Nano Banana to combine these two, and the result I got was this. This wasn't the final logo, but that was the perfect concept for me. Like, it was the perfect splash, and I kind of liked the scope of it. So what I did is I took that design, I took a screenshot of the result that Nano Banana gave me, and I brought it back into Claude. In Claude Design, I gave the Nano Banana logo that I created, and I said, this is the logo I'm kind of going for. Can you generate that into a file? And after going a bit back and forth, it came up with this. It wasn't exactly the same, but that was okay. I got 3 versions and I picked the winner. I picked the winner, which I felt like was the middle one, and then I took that into a new project in Claude Design. In the new Claude Design file, I first told it that I wanted the CS2 Skin Maker, like the name in itself, made into like some logo. And it took the text and it gave me another font, and then it added the orange to the skin, which I quite liked. And I thought, yeah, let me go with this. So what I did is I took the final output I got from the other Claude Design and I brought it in and I said, hey, take this version and put it next to my text. And after going a bit back and forth with resizing it, getting it in the middle and fixing some edges around the scope, I ended up having this. And I think it looked perfect. This was kind of what my idea was in my head, and it was personal but also like a more professionally looking logo, and I quite liked it. After I had the logo that I liked, then I told Claude Design, hey, I love the logo, it's perfect, but now I want different files, SVGs, PNGs, I want different colors, I want you to invert the colors, flip the colors, make different sizes and different options for the logo. And this is what they came up with. A full logo package for me with different files, size, colors, everything. It was perfect. And now I have something to go off. After that I picked my winner, which also was my original logo. And I told it, hey, can we make some custom logo animations for this? And this I kind of used the same process. It started out with a generic bland one where it just drops down in a faded version, which I didn't like at all. Then I came up again. You have to use your head and describe just plain out words what you want. I said, hey, I want the scope coming in from the right, shooting, the paint splash appearing, and then kind of the paint dropping down. And after going a bit back and forth on how the paint should drop down, how fast the scope should come in, came up with this, which I quite liked. And it was a perfect final logo animation for me. I went from having no custom logo and not picking from these generic bland logo designs to then ending up having my full custom logo with logo files, different logo version, and a custom logo animation. So what should your takeaway from this video be? Yeah, it should be go back and forth, use different tools, but the ideas should come from your head. Claude and all these AI tools work by using all what we have previously done, but good original ideas still come from your head. You can describe what you want and go back and forth until you have the version that you like, but please make it your logo. Have your own vision and then try to execute it just by using plain text. That was what I did. I simply turned on the microphone, which is an option in Claude, or you can use Whisper Flow that I also highly recommend. Just hold down a key and you explain by plain voice what you like, what you don't like, and then work yours back and forth until you get the result that you like. There's no secret prompt that will give you a one-hit wonder of a logo. Yeah, that's how you use Claude, Nano Banana and other AI tools to make your perfect logo for you, your website, your company, whatever. I've also made a full step-by-step guide where you can read it in plain text and take out some of the prompts that I use. It's on my X profile. If you want to check that out, that's down in the description. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a like. If you didn't like this video, please write in the comment section what I can do better till next time. This is my first video and I would really love your feedback. And if you want more content like this, then please consider giving me a subscribe. That would be highly appreciated. If you have any questions as well, leave them down in the comments, and have a good day and happy logo designing.